What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Altcoin Buzz. So we're going to take a look at the cryptocurrency market and see what's going on. Right now, we've got that push that's happened. Bitcoin dominance now at 43.7, so continues its upward momentum over altcoins as it takes over more of the market capitalization. $347 billion market cap, right? And Bitcoin went over 9,000 per coin, now back under not 9, and it's fluctuating. Ripple back in the 70 cent mark. Bitcoin Cash back over 1,000, and Litecoin moving up a bit. Some of the biggest movers, if we're just taking a look down here, EOS is looking decent. Stellar's up over 27 cents, and Neo over 70, which is not very high for either any of those coins, but just in the 24-hour cycle, seeing them up 10, 11, 10%, 11. Yeah. So I'm right now in Hong Kong, and I'm actually going over here for a meeting, and not in Hong Kong, but over here in Asia. So don't expect too much from me, but this is what I am doing, and I am putting out some videos as I continue to track the market. Now, one thing that I think is very important that I'm going to drive home in this video here is the G20 calls for crypto regulation recommendations by July here on CoinDesk, right? So the world's economic leaders have set a July deadline for the first step toward unified regulation of cryptocurrency. Speaking Tuesday after the G20 meeting of finance ministers in Buenos Aires, Argentina, Central Bank Chair Federico Sturzenegger said the member nations present agreed that the cryptocurrencies needed to be examined, but that more information was needed before any regulations could be proposed. However, during the press conference, he noted that the members had a firm deadline in July for recommendations, saying, in July, we have to offer very concrete, very specific recommendations on what do we regulate, but what is the data we need. So data is everything, guys. We've stressed that in basically everything that we've done. And I always say it's just like popping the hood on your car. When you need to do the diagnostics report, you need to know if you need more coolant, more rear wheel differential, more or if it's your catalytic converter, if it's your water pump. And that's just basically data for your car, right? But that's real world application that most people are already accustomed to. Same with your body. When you go to the doctor, he says you have cholesterol, high cholesterol, low cholesterol, blah, blah, blah. It's all data. Everything is data. And so is trading. And actually, really, so is trading a lot. So is investing. So if you're not understanding data, you should be starting to understand data science, because data science is it. And even the G20, they want what? The data, because it's how to optimize. They want to optimize their legislation towards what the data suggests. When you're trading, you want to optimize your trades towards what the data suggests. And yeah, I mean, that's why we always go back to some of these factors in TA, but it's more than just technical analysis. It's also fundamental analysis. So there's so much data collection out there that can make you a strong trader, but you have to be willing to put in the time. And it doesn't just come down to being a fan of a cryptocurrency because of the name. So we are dealing with a little bit of the development that always takes place when new people come into a new asset class or new investment, money management, where they have to go from an amateur to an intermediate to someday hopefully a professional. But right now there is a lot of intermediate, or actually amateurs, in cryptocurrency at this moment that just really like a coin because they were told about it, they invested in it, and they don't know why else they like it, right? So we're talking about, that's what our job at Altcoin Buzz is. Even if it's not always what the audience wants to hear, it's our responsibility to do the best that we can to educate people. You could call it tough love, but more than anything, it's really done to educate and inform correctly. There are going to be times where we could get our analysis wrong. Just you have to also have that flexibility and that rationality to understand that no one knows. I mean, there's not a single person on earth who can predict the future, right? At least not that I've heard. I mean, I'm definitely not a Nostradamus, and no one on our team is a Nostradamus. But I don't even know if Nostradamus got them all right, right? I mean, what's Nostradamus's projection accuracy? But the point is that, you know, you have to be flexible. If you make a decision, you have, you know, it's like with the Wall Street investors. They'll invest in 100 companies looking for the next one or two, the next Facebook, right? So 1 out of 100 is the ratio they're playing, because they'll put let's just say they put $1 million into 100 companies. That's $100 million investment, right? But if they hit $1 million investment on the next Facebook, that'll return so much more than that $100 million investment, right? So that's the whole strategy. Is we are looking for the best companies. I'm not saying spread yourself too thin in the sense that you buy a whole bunch of altcoins, because we've seen how that worked out. But some of these cryptocurrency projects could be the next big thing, and that's kind of what you're looking for. Which one, two, three, or four of them are going to be weathering the storm? Not all of these are going to be around forever. Okay, that's something we all know as investors. Not all of these are going to be number one in the race, right? Or even withstand the sands of time. So all of these variables at play. You have to be flexible. You have to be pragmatic. You can't have unrealistic expectations. And I say that as a reminder to everybody, including myself. Unrealistic expectations, right? And realizing we're dealing with a bit of an irrational market, because there's this. It got put off. We're not out of the woods yet. You know, people think that Bitcoin or the price is going to go up because G20 postponed it. If anything, this tells me that I have to now reset my expectations to July. This is unexpected for me as an investor. I didn't expect to have to wait till July, because I thought I was going to get an answer here in March 20th, right? But I'm not. So because of that, I have to be flexible. But if I was revolving my whole schedule around, oh, G20, March 20th, I'm going to get the information that I need to proceed. Now I get thrown a curveball, and it's like, oh, we're pushing it to July. So if you're not flexible, you're setting yourself up for a little bit of a conflict of interest, because the market doesn't answer to you. Okay, it's not all about the individual. It's about the universal application of what's really going on as a market whole. Anyways, guys, this is Jeff with Altcoin Buzz. One of the things I did personally tweet Blockchain J. We retweeted this on Altcoin Buzz IO. One reason I advocate for cryptocurrency is wealth redistribution through innovation. By no fault of their own, those who have inherited family wealth rarely have the hunger or drive to stimulate the economy. There is a great deal of wealth tied up and not trickling down. So this goes back to that whole trickle-down economics model, which is basically where you cut the taxes on the rich, that money will filter down into the pockets of people. Well, that's what did not happen, right? So because the money so let's say this grandfather, he's a real bull, right? This guy's or grandmother, just a real champion of industry and making things happen. But the children kind of grow up in a silver spoon kind of environment, and they don't know what grandpa or grandma went through to get there. So they've just been handed the kit and caboodle, and now you're sitting here and they've got all the wealth, but they're not making things go, and that causes stagnation, because what would they rather do with their money? Well, they don't really need to do much, because when they wake up, they don't have that fire, that burning desire that grandpa or grandma had to get the job done. Some of them might, but most part, people get complacent, they get comfortable, and comfort. When people are comfortable, they don't feel that need to go out and create new things or do amazing things. Typically, that someone that's got their back up against the wall, that's like, oh man, I have no choice but to succeed with this. So that's why I make those comments. And cryptocurrency brings that opportunity for wealth redistribution. You don't have to agree with me on that. Some of you do not agree with me, and absolutely, many of you are probably bringing excellent points to the discussion about that. But that's just my take on that. And there's also an article that Sebastian Iverson did. He put this out there. Top project CEOs in cryptocurrency. So you can check this out on Altcoin Buzz IO or on our Twitter, and just click on this link. And you'll see some of the top CEOs in the industry right now. You have Justin Sun, Vitalik Buterin, Changpeng Zhao, Charlie Lee, Brad Garlinghouse, Charles Hoskinson, Shingo Levine, Richard Ells. You can go through here and learn a bit more about these CEOs and shout out to Sebastian for making that article. So we'll see you guys next time. Subscribe to this channel if you like cryptocurrency videos like this, and click that bell to get notified when videos like this drop.